Hello everyone and welcome to Future Foe Plays Destiny. Before I get started with this week's progression updates, I want to take a minute and thank each and every one of you who have liked and subscribed to my channel over the past few weeks. And I also want to give an extra special thanks to all of you who have left your incredible positive feedback down in the comments below. I love making these videos and your positive feedback is a huge motivation to continue. So again, to all of those who have liked, subscribed, or commented to my videos, thank you. And I definitely invite you to continue to leave feedback. I'm always looking for ways to make my channel better. And with that, let's get started with the updates on my progression over the past week. The Nightfall this week is Shield Brothers, and the modifiers are Brawler, Chaff, Match Game, and Exposure. The new ones are Chaff, which disables your radar, and Match Game, which means that enemy shields can only be taken down by weapons and abilities of the same element. Now, while the modifiers are definitely interesting, they also point out the flaws with Nightfalls in Year 2. In summary, Nightfalls in Year 2 are just kind of whatever. So, why do Nightfalls feel this way? Well, for starters, you don't get anywhere near the amount of reputation you used to get. Now it's the same as essentially doing a heroic strike. Also, interestingly enough, you don't get any marks, and you do get marks in heroic strikes. I can understand why that might be in exchange for the quote-unquote Nightfall tier rewards, but those Nightfall tier rewards don't really feel that Nightfall tier anymore. The rewards are what we remember them from Year 1, so what's different? Well, the answer is heroic strikes. Bungie went out of their way to make heroic strikes more replayable in Year 2. That includes the increased chance of dropping a legendary, especially with Vanguard Streak, and with 3F coins you can even get an exotic. So what can make Nightfalls feel more worth their time? Well, for starters, let's restore reputation. 500 for Vanguard, 250 for your faction. And give us some marks, 25 would do. Those two changes alone would go a huge way to make Nightfalls feel the way they used to. Moving on to something that's a lot more interesting, the Court of Oryx. The Court of Oryx is one of the more surprise hits with Year 2. I think we all expected it to maybe fall flat after a while, just like the Prison of Elders, but it hasn't. The battles are super fun and super interesting, especially the Tier 3 ones. This is the fight against Balwer from last week. Killing the boss itself is straightforward, you just do damage to her. But the trick is that she's left the ground burning the entire time. To avoid getting burned, you have to kill the acolytes of Balwer, which open up a safe space to stand on. It's a fun and quick fight, and it's very rewarding. Very, very rewarding. The most amount of loot you can get per hour is definitely Court of Oryx. I guess the reason I enjoy Court of Oryx so much is that it's kind of like skipping to the boss fight of a strike. You get to have a fairly epic fight and get lots of loot at the end. And here's the footage from Kagor, this week's Tier 3 boss. To do damage to this boss, you have to defeat the ogre that's standing right in front of her first. This fight is a bit more challenging because there's constantly spawning ogres and maleficent eyes, which are essentially acolyte eyes with no acolytes. But again, it's definitely worth the rewards. And I rounded out my Tuesday night with a quick Oryx encounter. It's always nice to find a group that knows exactly what they're doing so you can finish the encounter in under a couple hours. And here's all the new gear I got during the raid this week. First is Midha's Reckoning, a Void Fusion Rifle. It's got Will of Light, Linear Compensator, Accurized Ballistics, and Field Choke, and then of course Cocoon, which is a standard for all King's Fall weapons, Fitted Stock, Lightweight, and Braced Frame. And the final perk is Hipfire, which is very interesting for a fusion rifle with a low charge rate. I actually really enjoy this fusion rifle. I'm not huge on fusion rifles, but I really like the way this one fires. Next, I got Alulim's Frenzy, a Void Rocket Launcher. It has Will of Light, Linear Compensator, Hard Launch, Warhead Veneers, and of course Cocoon, which is actually super useful for a heavy weapon, Javelin, Lightweight, and Quick Draw for the next perks, and then finally Cluster Bombs. I'm still not convinced with cluster bomb's effectiveness, but I guess we'll have to see since Taken tend to clump up a little bit more. The rocket launcher feels solid, the sights are awesome, but it's a shame that there's no tracking or grenades and horseshoes. And finally we have War Newman's Mark, which looks pretty badass, I have to say. It's similar to the one you get in Crota's End, but I like it a lot more. And that concludes the update for the weekly activities. I started the day with 297 light, and I was super stoked to achieve 301. I guess that's my favorite part of Destiny in year 2, is that you always feel like you're progressing. You're always getting stronger and stronger. But anyways, thanks for watching. Drop a like if you can, and subscribe for content every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And until next time, I'll see you guys Starside.